Hey guys, it's Holly. We're gonna take a look at Warrior 1 and Warrior 2 today. They're pretty common postures that you'll practice in a lot of different styles of yoga. So we're gonna jump into those. A couple of things. They are both standing postures. They take a lot of leg strength and leg work. They really build a lot. They are big hip openers in different ways. Warrior 1 is an internal hip rotation. Warrior 2 is an external. They feel very different. They are different for everybody's body. There's a million different ways to feel Warrior 1 and Warrior 2. So we're gonna go into those. We're gonna start with Warrior 2. So for Warrior 2, you wanna find your, I have helpers, you wanna find your wide leg stance. A lot of times you'll see or hear directions to take your feet 4 feet apart for a wide leg straddle. 4 feet apart is a little bit, I don't know, it's pretty generic to me. I like to work things for my body. So I extend my arms and I take my ankles underneath my wrist, and that feels like the appropriate wide leg straddle for me. From here, with my feet parallel, I'm gonna lift and spread my toes, start to turn my legs on. Everything facing forward, so both legs, hips, chest, everything face forward, shoulders. I'm gonna take Warrior 2 with my right leg forward. So I'm gonna turn out my right toes. You wanna have a straight line from the heel of the front foot to the arch of the back foot. So just make sure they're in a line and do any adjusting that you need to do there. From here, make sure your toes are lifting and spreading. Turn your legs on, pull your belly towards your spine. Arms are extended out from the shoulders. Slide the shoulder blades down the back. And then bend through that front knee. And just let the knee bend. Make sure you don't take your torso with you. Torso still comes straight up from the hips. You can bend into the knee. And as you bend, sink down rather than pushing forward to really find some strength in Warrior 2, or to find more strength in Warrior 2. Turn on the butt cheek of the back leg. So when you engage that sit bone, just really turning on your butt, and then you point that down towards the heel of your back foot. It really turns on that back leg, and it kind of energizes everything up from there. Also for the front leg, you want to have your front thigh opening. So a little trick I like to use is peeking down, and if I can see my big toe inside my knee, I'm pretty good. If I can't see it, it's giving me feedback that I need to press back a little bit. So Warrior 2, everything's turned on. That's Warrior 2. Warrior 1, very, 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 very different. I'm gonna set up for it differently. I'm gonna start with my feet hip width apart. And that's important. So in Warrior 2, we have the legs in a straight line. In Warrior 1, they stay at least hip width apart, if not wider. So from my hip width apart legs, I'm gonna take my right leg back this time. So keeping my left leg forward, right leg comes back, and it's a shorter stance than a Warrior 2. It's about, if we say that the wide leg straddle is 4 feet, Warrior 1 is 3 feet. So you have to feel into there. Your back foot, you have the toes pointing towards the top corner of the mat. So my right leg is my back leg, so my toes are pointing towards the top right corner of the mat. Right leg is gonna, or back leg is gonna stay straight, pressing down through the heel of the foot. Start to adjust your hips. You want both hips pointing forward, and then you take a bend into your front knee. And again, as you bend into the knee, you're just sinking down through the legs. You're not taking your torso with you. So keep adjusting and finding that sweet spot. And then keep guiding the hips so they're both pointing forward. To modify your hips in Warrior 1, you can take the back leg out, and you can always take it up more. So between those two things, there's usually a combination that will work for you. When we add the arms in Warrior 1, arms reach straight up, lifting out of the hips, coming up out of the ribs, shoulders slide down the back, belly pulled back, big strong Warrior 1. So Warrior one, feet stay at least hip width apart, toes are pointing forward and at a diagonal. Warrior two, legs are in a straight line, front toes are facing forward, other toes are facing the other way. Play with them, have fun, find some strength, and turn your butt on. Don't forget to turn your butt on in those. Thanks, guys.